Welcome back to SyFy Wire Live here from C2E2. I am sitting here with an epic cosplayer and 3D printing master, Jonathan Weger. Give it up for Jonathan, you guys.
Hey, everybody.
So, how's your day been so far? How's the con?
It has been fantastic so far. Having a great time. Been coming here since 2011, I think was the first year that I came. And my little guy's old enough. He's met R.L. Stein. We're chasing him around all day, so it's been a lot of fun.
And you do a lot of cosplay as well, right?
I do. I'm a 501st Legion member. I've been a Vader now for quite a long time, seven years now. A couple other costumes. I'm working on a few others right now, always working on something. It's kind of never ends, really.
So talk to me a little bit about how you got into 3D printing.
Okay. Well, forever I've been working on stuff and making things for different costumes. My Vader I did all myself. A couple of the other ones I've done before. I started a Chewbacca that's almost done. Well, almost done is a relative term, but and I've done things the original way. You look at pictures and you make stuff out of wood and you make stuff out of metal and you start out from that, and it takes forever.
Really?
So yeah, it does. Like years. My Vader costume was a 2-year build. And I spent a lot of time working on it, as the family can attest to, definitely. So 3D printing, I saw that a couple of years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I saw the first picture of a Scout Trooper blaster online that had been 3D printed, and I said, I got to do that. I got to get one of those and see what that's about, because that looks like a really, really awesome tool for making costumes and other things too.
And how much time did it shave off versus making
a lot? It's a ton, especially if you have other talented people that are out there that are making the files and designing those, because that's not my forte. I'm learning that. I'm getting better at it, but I'm not really there yet. So if you have great people that can make this stuff for you and make the files, the rest of it is very easy. It's a very small learning curve. You can get into printing. You can get a printer. You can get making things incredibly fast. You could actually that helmet over there is it took about a day and a half to print.
Wow.
A lot longer to finish and all that stuff and make it look pretty, but it really cuts down on the time involved to make anything really.
Now, did you start off with something easy your very first time 3D printing something, or were you like, no, I'm going to make something so cool?
I kind of went crazy stupid right away. I started out, and like everybody else, you print the little test file that comes with your printer, and it's like a butterfly, or it's a thing that doesn't complete, a lucky cat that the head falls off of, or something like that. And after I did that, I saw BB-8, and I decided that, why print a bunch of little stuff and just go absolutely nuts, and started on that, and then got into the Shore Trooper too.
And how did it turn out?
I'll tell you when it's done.
Oh, still working on it.
Yeah, still working on it. That's the problem. I find, too many cool things, and I get started on stuff, and I go crazy on something for 3, 4 months, 5 months, and then something else pretty and shiny comes along, and I find that and get started on that then.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't really understand the process of 3D printing, and you kind of told us a little bit about it, but you said it was a lot easier to do and with a small learning curve.
It is, because basically what you do when you have a printer is you get a digital file, a 3-dimensional model file, and you put it into a software program that takes that 3-dimensional model and slices it into layers that can be machine language that can be fed into your printer, and then your printer replicates the input from that. So you put in the picture, the program takes it into something that's usable by the printer, and then you set some settings as far as how fast you want to print it, how accurate you want it to be, and a couple of other things, and then it basically does the majority of everything itself, and you just kind of watch and just let it do its thing.
Wow. So besides cutting down on some time, how else does 3D printing enhance the cosplay world?
Well, I think it makes a lot of things a little bit easier. There are many, many things that you can do for a costume, and some things just take a long time. And there's a lot of talented people out there. And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is really cool. We have a video showing some 3D printing here. Could you?
Yeah, a couple of helmets just going through the print. We had a Batman and then the Black Panther, and I think we got one more too. just kind of showing how it prints layer by layer, and then when it gets done, what something looks like when it comes off the printer. And a dread helmet, I believe now, just to kind of show you a little bit about how it goes. And that printer that's printing that dread helmet right now is about a $350 printer.
Wow.
It's very inexpensive. When I bought mine originally 3 years ago, the first one was half the size, and it cost $200 more than that.
That is so cool. And I know cosplayers love detail, so I bet you could get even more detail
you
using
can,
that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a lot of detail with machines like the one from the video there, FDM machines. You can get even more detail from SLA printers, SLS printers. There's all kinds of other things that are out there that are definitely more expensive, but FDM printers are a really good place to start. And you can get extremely detailed parts and pieces out of here. Everything that I have along with me today is all printed on an FDM printer. This K-Blaster from Blade Runner 2049 was done on there, and the detail on there is pretty great.
Yeah.
It really is. And this allows you to do a lot of different things that maybe you couldn't do freehand, or would be just plain take too long to do. So it's kind of levels the playing field to a degree, and some people are kind of frustrated with it a little bit. I can build things both ways. When I see something new or I want to do something new, this allows me to jump right into things very quickly and kind of get going.
And what are some of these items that we have here?
Other things that we have, one thing I wanted to bring too was to kind of show some other stuff that you can do with a printer, and you can actually print on fabric. You can print on fabric and do things.
So cool.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. And I actually finally got this to work really well for the first time last night before I went to bed. So thank goodness that came out okay before today. But you could do things like this. You could do plate mail for different costumes and lots of other things. And with different types of printers, you could actually print chain mail. Now, those printers are extremely expensive now, but someday, eventually, they'll be a little more reasonable.
I just find that so cool to be able to print on a fabric like that, especially in such fine detail. That's awesome. And then, of course, we have the helmet here.
Yeah, the Shore Trooper helmet is part of an entire suit of armor that I'm actually doing and been printing now for, basically I started right before Rogue One came out. There was a really talented guy in the community, his name is Sean Fields, and he did a complete suit of armor based off of a couple of photos from Celebration Europe, and put out an entire suit, put it out free for anybody in the community. So these files are available for you to get absolutely free and download them. And you can print this entire suit of armor like I have, and someday I'll get it finished too, hopefully.
Do you have any dream cosplays or pieces, weapons that you'd love to print?
You know what? I really want to get back to doing a little bit of work with my Vader would be good. It's a little old now, and it could use some improvement and some freshening up. So that's one thing. There's some other crazy ones out there, but you got to have the time, and I'm just kind of enjoying helping other people out doing this too, and making stuff for other people. And whenever something really great comes along, then I will, get into it.
And you also have a YouTube channel where
I do.
You talk about 3D printing and cosplay. You made a Han Solo blaster.
I did. The fun part about it is that I just took a cheap airsoft gun, got some parts that were modeled, corrected them to work with it, threw them on there, and I still have a firing DL-44 that's an airsoft gun, and it's ridiculous, and it turns you into a child again when you have it to play with. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for coming out here and educating us a little bit about 3D printing. And give it up for John, guys.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was so fun to learn about it, too. Thank you guys for watching at home. Make sure you guys tweet along with us. What's something cool that you want to see 3D printed? Let us know on Twitter at SyFy using the hashtags It's a Fan Thing and hashtag C2E2. And up next, we have the talented cast of Critical Role. Get ready for that.